Hello, my name is Jacob Logas, and today I'll be talking with you about tensions between access and control in makerspaces. The maker movement seeks to increase inclusion, equity, and access in STEAM. Makerspaces were built to accomplish this, democratizing expensive tools and software such as woodshops, 3D printers, musical instruments, and professional modeling software, while providing mentors to aid in learning them. However, we hypothesize the Makerspace's mission is complicated by access control. To test our hypothesis, we performed semi-structured interviews with 16 Makerspace administrators and surveyed 48 Makerspace users between March and May of 2020 about policy and access control. Most of the administrators we spoke with identified as makers and agreed with tenets of the maker movement. Particularly, they identified with the idea that makers' tools and education are to be democratized for greater public access. Administrators generally voiced a desire for their makerspace to be even more open and accessible. Though of the 16 interviewees we spoke with, only one was willing to give unlimited access to their users, a small for-profit enterprise. Why is this? If the goal of makerspaces is to have the greatest amount of access, shouldn't more be willing to be open 24/7? Why enforce control if access is of the utmost importance? Control is necessary because makerspaces contain expensive machinery that is dangerous or easily broken if mishandled. Thus, controlled access to the tools is necessary to maintain a viable makerspace. Access to the equipment often requires an orientation or strict adherence to safety procedures. These are enforced by the administrator and staff personally, though makerspaces are generally underfunded and understaffed. As administrators rely on the staff to maintain control, makerspaces are closed when none are available. Makerspaces we interviewed cannot, for example, afford to have staff present after 5 or 6 p.m. Some even have issues staffing throughout the day because their staff works on a volunteer basis and have other responsibilities. When staff are in the makerspace, they are stretched thin with administrative and custodial tasks, leaving little time for mentorship. The aforementioned factors of control illustrated a trend in policies. Many makerspace policies exist solely for safety reasons. From this, we align control with the desired safety of the makerspace. Safety is an admirable goal and one that administrators rarely wish to dismiss outright. Though, in our interviews, we discovered most policies are flexible, with exceptions being made regularly. Exceptions are situational and vary from administrator to administrator, but 3 reasons were consistently mentioned. First, exceptions are made to keep up with demand. With staffing shortages, administrators must make concessions to keep up. These exceptions, though, are only allowed if it can be done safely or if the administrator trusts the requester. Second, exceptions can improve the working relationship with staff. Administrators we interviewed gave Makerspace staff extensive leeway, at times even extending it to friends of staff. This works both to build competency among staff and to entice users to become staff themselves. Third, exceptions are given to users with whom the administrator has built a level of trust. This can include interpersonal trust, trust in their abilities, or trust in their motives. Though, as mentioned before, makerspaces are understaffed, and administrators do not have the capacity to personally approve or deny every request, or even to prevent unapproved access. So, makerspaces use digital access control systems. These are meant to alleviate some staff responsibilities, but instead complicates their duties, requiring them to compensate for the system's failings. This is a result of existing systems not mapping to the makerspace model of access, leaving gaps for staff to fill. Though this creates a problem for more than just the administrators. Users reported feeling unduly impeded by the current state of access control. No amount of familiarity, demonstrated competency, or negotiation with existing systems will grant access. Instead, users must either find staff who have the authority and time to override it, or be locked out of the resource entirely. So the question becomes, how can access control be custom tailored for makerspaces? To us, the answer is clear. Context. Every exception administrators told us about were the result of contextual reasoning. Access decisions were based on whether the user was trustworthy, competent, staff, or even had a convincing reason why they needed access. We can foresee future work that uses our findings here to develop a new class of access control, one that integrates makerspace usage metrics with a learning agent to integrate context and automated access decisions. Through advances in conversational agents, a user might even be able to negotiate for access as they would with administrators. Overall, integrating our findings into the design of makerspace-centric access control will help makerspaces fulfill their mission.